I'm Julia Benton, class of 2022.
So this benchtop model, my initial idea was just to have rectangles of cardboard that were like 6 inches this way, the maximum length I could have. And in my benchtop model, I was testing out the legs that I have here, so I actually have 8 of them. And they're made with a thicker wire, and they are pretty short, but they got like little legs on them. So in my mind, I would press down on this experimental hopper and it would hop, and you can kind of see it just goes down. It doesn't actually hop or anything. So this is actually pretty helpful because I realized my idea did not work as I thought it would. So what I realized is this thicker wire is actually not as good as the thinner wire, which I end up using for my actual hopper, because this thicker wire requires a lot more force from like my hand to compress onto the table. And I made a lot of small legs here, and I realized it's a lot more useful to have longer legs, fewer of them, but with the thinner wire. Because this way, these kind of, when you press them, it doesn't return to its original shape, versus this will with a thinner wire. So one thing I also realized from this test was that longer legs, which I used in my hopper, are a lot better idea than shorter legs, and many of them. Moving forward, I'm still not sure. I might include maybe like 6 legs. Right now I have 4. I'm not really sure yet, because I need to add more weight eventually, but I'll get to that later. So I'm not set on 4 legs, but this one definitely, the shorter legs were only a couple inches long, and these were actually 6 inches long each, so got 4 legs 6 inches each, and these are a lot smaller, and just when you compress them, they don't return to the original shape, it doesn't make it hop. So this was kind of a failure, but I learned a lot from it, so it's not a failure. And now I want to show you my actual hopper, and I think it definitely is meeting my design goals so far, which I designed for my minifig, who is Sensei Silo. The goal was to build a hopper that is a quiet fidget toy for him. So the character of it was that it would jump quietly and reliably, which my hopper is meeting those goals of right now. It jumps in a reliable way every time, and taking off and landing, it's not loud at all, so I think so far it is a quiet, reliable toy. So moving forward, something I want to have changed for my hopper for Hopper Day is that this needs to be a lot heavier. Right now it's 17 grams, and the project says it has to be 50 grams. So I'm planning on adding more layers if I report to this. I'm not set on the square shape. I might change it to a rectangle or a circle. I'm not really sure yet. I might add more legs if I need to, because it's going to be heavier, so I gotta make some adjustments about how it's going to hop. So that's something I need to work on pretty soon. But I also laser cut some holes in this to get the wire to fit through perfectly. But for my actual hopper, I'm probably not going to do the holes like all the way through, maybe just the bottom layer or the bottom few layers, just to get that spring wire in like securely, instead of just gluing it on top, which I found has not worked very well. So something else that I might want to examine is that right now I have my suction cup as my trigger on the end of the wooden dowel here. It's a little bit unreliable on some surfaces, like the suction cup won't stick to the table. I'm hoping that for Hopper Day the surface is really good and the suction cup will stick really well, but I think I might do some more experimentation to figure out how I can make this more reliable and that it'll actually hop on Hopper Day. So now I want to show you how this hopper actually jumps. So I just force the springs down. They gotta kind of all go out at the same angle, but the suction cup will suction to the table. They're all evenly out. This is a lot different than my benchtop models, you can see. And now it should